Hi, great to see you. This morning we're just going to have some time to think about a passage in the Bible that is talking to us about worry and what happens when we start worrying and what do we do and what does God say about it? Well, I've got a few props that we're going to think about, and I've been growing some seeds in lockdown. Perhaps you've been doing some of that as well. I wanted to show you something that I've been growing. I've got some seeds that have come up here. They should be some basil leaves that come through in time. We've already got some nice small leaves coming through. And I've got some other herbs here that are just starting off. And isn't it fantastic to see things growing? And when we look at things growing, we can't see them worrying. And we can't hear the flowers panicking, can we? I've picked some wild flowers here this morning. And when we see things growing in our gardens or alongside the roads, they're not panicking, are they? And they're not spending a lot of time worrying. And you know, the Bible teaches us something about that. So we're going to think about that this morning. When I've been sitting here in the garden, I can actually hear the birds in the background. And because it's this lovely springtime of year, they're sitting in their nests, and sometimes we see them bobbing around on the grass, looking for their food, finding insects and worms. And it was just yesterday that I went to the supermarket and I realised, well, the birds don't need to push a trolley around the supermarket, do they? Finding this and that and choosing the food they like, because God provides everything they need in the outside space that they've been given. And then it reminded me of the Bible passage that we're going to look at today. So if you've got a Bible at home, you might like to collect it now. We're going to look at the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 25. And I'm going to read from verse 25 through to the end of verse 28. This is why I tell you not to be worried about the food and drink you need in order to stay alive, or about clothes for your body. After all, isn't life worth more than food? And isn't the body worth more than clothes? Look at the birds. They do not sow seeds, gather a harvest, and put it in barns, yet your Father in heaven takes care of them. Aren't you worth much more than birds? Can any of you live a bit longer by worrying about it? And why worry about clothes? Look how the wild flowers grow. They do not work or make clothes for themselves. Well, that's quite a lot for us to think about, isn't it? Which reminds me, when I get up in the morning, I can sometimes spend a lot of time thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to wear? Am I going to wear this one or that one? Or this one? Still got the label in it. Or what about this one? Is it going to be warm enough? Or that one? Is it sunny enough? And you know, God doesn't want us to worry about any of those things. It's not that we can't enjoy our clothes. He wants us to be warm and comfortable. But we don't have to spend a lot of time thinking, do I look like this? Do I look like that? Do you know, God sees us right on the inside, and that is what He is most concerned about. And if you'd like to look back with me, if you've got a Bible in front of you, to the end of verse 26. Yet your Father in heaven takes care of them. Now that means that God wants to provide all that we need. He wants to provide the food we have and the clothes we have. And He doesn't need us to spend a whole load of time worrying about those things. He wants us to trust Him. Now I've been thinking about what trusting Him actually means. And that means thinking about how we're going to try and depend on Him when we start worrying about things that we take into our own hands. And you know, the other day, I started thinking about how many hairs I had on my head, and I thought, I know, I'm going to count them. So I started off just like this. 1, 2, 3, oh, hang on, it's getting difficult. 4, 5, oh, hang on, have I counted that one? 6, oh my goodness, I've got so many. I've got so many hairs on my head. Do you know the Bible tells us something about that? If you would like to look up the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 7, it's going to tell us how much God cares for us and knows us. God even knows the amount of hairs on our heads. That's how much he wants us to trust him. Will we trust him with that? That he knows that much about us? And you know, God loves us so much that he did something really special for us that we can take with us all through our lives. We've just been thinking about that at Easter, haven't we? We can remember that God provides all the forgiveness and all the love we need to help us through this life. And we can know Jesus as our friend, which is a great gift to have with us. Now, I've got one or two crafts you might like to do while we're spending so much time at home. I've actually sent some things on email through to your household, so if you'd like to ask a grown-up at home, if you'd like to do this, it might be possible that you could print some things out. I've got a craft here. It's just a picture of some flowers and a bird, and then there's a picture of a person. You can make that your own. You can draw yourself in this picture here. You can see that I've put some clothing on there, and I've put some bird seed below the bird, and you can make that your own picture as a printout. Or you'll also find that there's a jigsaw. If you'd like to make a jigsaw for yourself, there's two jigsaws. There's one that says, I'm worried about everything. And then there's a second jigsaw that says, I trust Jesus for everything. You can colour that in, cut it out for yourself, and then play with it if you'd like to in your own time. And just to finish off, do you know, it's such great news knowing that we have a loving Heavenly Father who provides all that we need. God is so concerned about us. He loves us so much that he's really interested in what we're thinking about, in the things we're saying, and the things we love. Because of course he knows us through and through, and he knows us on the inside.